Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today. So if you've been with me before, you know that there are chapter markers in the timeline and in the description box below. Sometimes it doesn't show up on the timeline, which I'm not sure why, but they will always be in the description box below, along with any links to references that I make, songs, movies, video games. It happens. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate all likes, shares, and subscribes because it does help reach other people and they can hear my stories too. I'm going to put a chapter marker right here because I do have a tarot intro for those who are new to my channel and new to tarot. So if you just want to go to the reading, that's totally cool. You can, if you're on your laptop, you can choose the chapter. And if you're on your phone, if you double tap with both fingers on the right side of the screen, it should bring you over to the next chapter. Tarot and oracles are tools for self-reflection. It's meant to help guide you when you're making decisions using your own inner moral compass based on your own particular brand of happiness. And I'm an intuitive reader, so I know the tarot and I'll read oracles, but more specifically, I rely on the messages being brought to me by my ancestors and my guides and the energies that I work with. There are only so many cards in a deck, so sometimes it'll be that a card will come out and it doesn't seem to like 100 match with the message that I'm saying. But a lot of the times my guides, my ancestors, and the energies I work with will pick a card that is the closest approximation to what I'm trying to relay. And it's up to me to sort of interpret or translate it for the collective. And it's up to you to decide whether or not it resonates. And resonates means let it like speaks to you on a soul level. It's not necessarily watching it and being like, oh, that doesn't really sound like me. I wouldn't do that, or I would never do that, or they would never do that. It probably isn't your reading for the day. But if you find yourself being like, oh, that happened to me last week, or that's happening to me right now, or this is something that I've definitely thought about and my intuition or my gut is telling me certain things, but I haven't told anyone, and yet here it is in a reading. That's what resonating looks like. Now, oftentimes, I've seen it on other readers' channel that there are those who will get kind of like head up or triggered and be in the comments being like, you don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is, all of us on YouTube who do readings on YouTube, not necessarily on their Patreons and stuff, but like on YouTube, we're all collective readers. We're all reading several different energies. There's thousands of us readers with reading thousands of different cards. And you know, sometimes at the beginning there's a certain energy and at the end there's a certain energy. We're tapping into whatever's brought to us and we're reading to confirm what the collective is experiencing. But again, it's a collective. It's not like a personal. And I find that when someone clicks on a video and then gets upset about what they hear, it's likely not anything really to do with the reader or the cards. It likely is that person had like that heart pluck moment that they weren't counting on having, or that they buried something deep inside and it needs love and attention. And listen, shadow work is hard. You know, looking inward to be like, what are my wants, needs, desires? What are my fears? What are the things that I have wounding from when I was a kid? All that shit is hard. It's not easy. But doing your inner work is always beneficial. So I always encourage someone, if they feel like they're getting all head up from a collective with thousands of readers reading thousands of different cards, tapping into thousands of different types of energy, maybe sit in that energy and be like, why did I just do that? And more importantly, you are the maestro of your own destiny. I believe in fate and destiny, but I only believe it takes you to a certain point. You're co-creating your story with the energies that be and yourself. It can present you opportunities for happiness, for growth, for lessons, to jump timelines, to recreate your life in a different way. But all of that's contingent on the actions you take. It can offer you happiness and it can offer you opportunity, but are you going to take it? Are you going to stand in your power? Are you going to say something on your behalf? Or are you going to accept what's being given to you? You make the action to write the story. So how do you want to write your story? Okay, so let's get into the pre-shuffle. Okay, so I'm going to be using a deck called the Cosmic Creatures. It's new, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to intuit the cards for the pre-shuffle and the beginning of the reading, but I will end with these cards in another oracle, and I will read from the book. That's kind of my bag. I intuit mostly, and then I'll read the books usually as the oracle at the end of the reading. So pre-shuffle, we're going to shuffle, split down the middle, read from the middle and the bottom to kind of get an idea of the vibe that the collective currently is in going into this reading. Sometimes the pre-shuffle will tie into the main reading, and sometimes the pre-shuffle is a standalone message for those who just want a quick read and are happy with that, and then they go on their way, and that's totally fine. If it resonates, it resonates. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So we have the wolf and the armadillo. Okay, I love this. Okay, so with the wolf energy, I'm distinctly getting the lunar tie. Mostly because my channel is called Rabbit and Moon, and so the moon is connected to intuition. With the wolf energy, this is about intuition when it comes to interpersonal communications. This could be family, this could be a friend group. This is the people, the structure, the family, the lovers or loved ones that you surround yourself with. There is something about this wolf energy. Oh, there's something about this wolf energy that feels like it's calling upon community. Maybe currently right now you're feeling, yeah, no, okay, that's what it is. Sorry. I was going to say, maybe you're feeling a little ostracized from your community, because wolves are pack animals. They have structure, they have society, they have family, they have friend groups. But there's something about this wolf card right now. I mean, yes, I could go with the cliche lone wolf, but I don't think that's it. I think that this wolf energy for the collective is that you have people around you, but they are not your collective. They're not your tribe. They are not your pack. You have people around you, but they don't necessarily link up with what you want. And then with this armadillo energy, this makes me feel like you've been wearing a certain type of armor around these people. Not because they're dangerous, not because that you think that they would hurt you, but it's almost equivalent to wearing a mask. It's like you're playing a part. The armadillo armor is the armor that you wear to protect your authentic self from maybe people you feel like wouldn't understand. Again, I don't believe that these people would hurt you, but take it as it resonates. Maybe you had a memory where someone poked fun at your love for cosplay, or maybe someone poked fun at you having a fantasy football team. Maybe someone poked fun at the fact that you like country or classical music, whatever it is. It almost feels like from a certain point on, you've kind of put on a mask or put on armor in order to kind of, I don't want to say keep the peace, because again, I don't feel like these people are argumentative or mean-spirited, but I think that you are very protective of your authenticity, which is fine. But also I feel like with this lone wolf, you're calling out to your tribe. You're calling out, you're putting the howl out, you're putting the signal out, the bat signal in the sky, basically. Calling in your spiritual family, your tribe, your community, whatever it is. And because the moon is so prominent in this wolf card, something is telling me that, like, intuitively, you've not put out the call before, but for some reason, okay, I've heard you've not put out the call before, like the physical call, but intuitively someone answered. Hold on. Someone answered the call that you hadn't even put out yet. Maybe you didn't even realize that you were hungry or waiting for your tribe or community. But someone intuitively, energetically responded. So maybe you, for instance, maybe around your family, your friends, or your coworkers, you act a certain way because you're not super comfortable with them knowing your true, authentic self. Again, and I do not get the inclination that these people are mean-spirited, but maybe there was a couple of comments in the past that made you feel a little protective of your authenticity. Again, maybe they don't recognize how sensitive it is for you, or how important it is to you, or that their lighthearted ribbing hurt you. But the only way they would know that is if you told them. But I don't get the inclination that you told them. I think you just put on a mask or put on the armor and just pretended like it was not a big deal. And so your love for cosplay, your fantasy football team, your love for country or classical music, or maybe the fact that, you love knitting or sewing or crocheting, whatever it is, that's something that you do on your own. And I'm hearing that over time you've been feeling that you want a deep sense of community. Maybe you haven't put it out into the world, like in a forum, being like, hey, I'm looking for community. But there's something about being like on, maybe Facebook or Instagram or something like that, where you have access to other people, but you're not like actively broadcasting what you want, but it found you. Does that make sense? You're part of like a social media platform. Um, like I said, it could be a forum, it could be a dating site, it could be Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, any of those things. And I don't think that you are putting up the big bat signal to be like, hey, I'm looking for my tribe. I'm looking for my community. I'm looking for like minded folks. I'm looking for people who see the same things. But they found you all the same. Someone found you all the same because maybe you didn't physically put out the call, but energetically or spiritually you did. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so now we have the cardinal and the coral. With the coral, I'm hearing you can okay. You can see the vastness of the ocean, but that doesn't mean that people have plumbed its depths. Sorry, I have a little bit of a lisp, so if it came out weird, I'm sorry. Like people can see the vastness of the ocean, but that doesn't mean they've plumbed its depth. I think that's the way you say. If I'm saying it incorrectly, you can go ahead and put the correction in the comments below. Um oh, this has to do with something. Okay, first of all, you're very grounded in what it is that you love. Again, you love for cosplay, fantasy football team. Maybe you have a particular like or dislike or proclivity or a hobby or something like that, and you're grounded in it. There, like you're very. Why did I hear? You're very opaque. There's not a, oh, I kind of like this. No, you solidly are like, I love this. This is who I am. This is authentically me. And just because people can recognize that you are an intense person and or a passionate person and or you have the vastness of the ocean, they can see that you have a lot of interest, doesn't mean they truly understand internally who you are, because they've never plumbed the depths of your likes, your wants, your needs, desires, whatever it is. But also, the coral kind of speaks to me as like something that's very grounded. Yes, you're grounded in what you like, but you're also not easily moved. If you think about a coral reef, they exist like not at the depths of the ocean. They're kind of in like what would be considered like the more shallow areas, which means they are constantly feeling the movement of the tides. They are constantly having the water around them swirl and the waves hit and all this kind of stuff. And yet they are steadfast and they are grounded. So not only do your interests lie in something that's deeply rooted in you. Again, a deep love for animation and cosplay and anime, or deep love for sports regalia, or a certain proclivity that you have, or a certain habit that you have, a certain genre of music that you love. Whatever it is not just a surface level love. It is something that is deeply and intrinsically part of you. And no one can convince you otherwise. You are 100% yourself. Even when those times when people have pushed against your interests or pushed against what your thoughts are or your beliefs are, you are yourself. You're very grounded. This gives me like earth energy. Now we have the cardinal here. And again, we have a moon. It's farther up in the sky and it's let's say a little bit smaller, a little bit more distant, but it's in the picture nonetheless. And birds to me are always about messages. So we have earth energy, grounded, solid, deeply into their comfort, their creature comforts, whatever they may be. And then we have an energy of a messenger. And this cardinal color is making me think it's very fiery. So you on this end, oh gosh, why is it? There's some message from your intuition. There's some message from your intuition that is trying to bring clarity to you. Hold on. Oh, okay, sorry. Hold on, let me put this down. Grounded. The vastness of the ocean. But it's not just vastness, the depths that are you. But also there's something about intuition and the messages. I'm seeing a cardinal in a wintry scene. Everything's white, everything's asleep, hibernating. Certain plants have withered away, and yet there's this bright spot in the snow, this bright red spot. This cardinal, this messenger, this fiery red color in what seems like a bleak landscape is like spirit trying to explain to you that there, for lack of a better term, there's a pop of color in all this drabness. You've been wearing your armor like the armadillo. You've been calling out energetically for community, someone who understands you. You're grounded. You're deeply intense. It is whatever it is that you love is intrinsically part of you. And your intuition or the message that's trying to come in is that there is a pop of color in this drab, dreary scene that you feel like you're in. That there is hope. Everything may seem monotone or the same color, but this one bright red bird messenger is in your periphery. It's there. Like I said, you didn't put out an active call for community, and yet this one bright red messenger bird is sitting amongst a bleak white scene. It's there. You didn't put out the call physically, but energetically, into intuition and messages, the universe heard and is bringing in, oh my gosh, I'm hearing bringing in life, bringing in, sorry, that was like, it took me a little minute to suss it out. But we have what feels like the collective wanting to call in their family, their soul family, their soul tribe, their community, people who understand who they are intrinsically. That's not to say that they're alone. There's people around them, family, friends, coworkers, but what they are looking for is their community, emotionally, spiritually, interest-wise. And perhaps maybe the collective hasn't physically put out like a flyer, say, hey, I'm looking for a knitting group. But energetically, you want that community. You want someone who likes the same things as you do so much that energetically the universe heard and brought in that bright red messenger bird so you could see it, the possibility amongst the whiteness of winter. I almost feel like the cardinal, the scene that I see in my head with that cardinal, is this one bright red bird in a scenery of red, meaning the energy that has been called in, even if you didn't physically put up a flyer being like, hey, these are the interests and proclivities that I have, looking for people who feel the same way. Even if you didn't do that, someone heard it energetically. And now it's become super obvious that this person, this community is sticking out like a sore thumb. You can see it. You didn't ask for it, like physically, but you called it in, and now here it is. Collective, I feel like for a very specific collective, and the collective that this is supposed to connect with, you know what I'm talking about. Your life kind of has been feeling a little bit gray, feeling like you have people around you, but they don't really understand you. You wear your armor so that people don't ask you too many questions about things that you hold dear that maybe they don't hold in the same regard. And energetically, you've been howling at the moon. You've been putting out the energetic call for your tribe, for your pack, for your community. And even if you didn't go on a forum or sign up for a dating site or became part of a knitting group, the want for connection was so real within you, your energetic field, that the universe heard it and brought you in this bright red messenger bird that is a red bright spot in an otherwise white and bleak landscape. It's noticeable. You can't miss it. If the right collective will know what I'm talking about. You see it for what it is. You know it's there. So, let's get into the message. Let's get into the reading proper. Okay, so wait, hold on. Yes, I do want to get through it, but let me get two more oracles to start off. I know I always start with oracles. I just forgot. I wanted to get right into the reading. So, okay, for the collective, starting this message. What is some energy to start this story to help me understand what the collective wants to do, or if you have advice for the collective? So we have the beaver and the bee. Oh my God. Okay. We're going to start with these two. The bee I always see as divine energy. Divine intuitive energy. Because everything is connected in a beehive, right? They're all connected to the queen. So it's like divine feminine energy. And so again, intuition. This happened in the reading yesterday. Like divine intuition was coming through so strong. And we have a beaver who builds their home, builds their community. So when I said that you put out an energetic call, you used your divine sacred intuition to put out an energetic call, your community heard it. You're gonna be building community with somebody. Okay. Again, this is divine feminine energy. This doesn't mean, anything about gender. This is about divine feminine and divine masculine are two parts of the same whole. It's two sides of the same coin. Your heart space is a yin and yang. So we both are led by our intuition and action. I explained this in the video, or in the reading yesterday. It's kind of like if you were looking for a job and you're walking down the street, and for some reason, no reason at all really, but for some reason you got the inclination to go into one particular business park building, or even just any building. You just felt, I'm going to go in there. You walk in there, there's a big sign that says hiring now. And then internally, you're like, I'm going to sign up. I know I can do this. I'm going to do this because I know I'm qualified. The intuition that you had to go into that building is divine feminine energy. Seeing the sign and being like, I'm going to take action on that is divine masculine energy. Do you see how they work together? That's being in balance. So right now we have divine feminine energy, this queen bee energy that is deeply intuitive. And then we have the beaver energy, which is earth and grounded. We have spirit energy and grounded energy. We have one that's about intuition and one about action and building. This makes me feel the collective, you all are going to be building something with this red cardinal energy, who you called in. Like again, energetically, you were calling out for community, for tribe, for that person that would understand, or that people that would understand, a team that would understand. Universe heard it and provided someone that could build with you. So now that we have that, tell me a little bit about this collective. What are they going through currently? Okay. What they're going through right now is a transformation. The Death card. The transformation that they're going through is recognizing that perhaps their wants and needs aren't being met by the community that they're currently connected to. This community could be coworkers, family, even like maybe friends from, back in the day. They are your friends because they've known you for a long time and they care about you, but they don't have the same wants, needs, interests as you do. And so there's this moment in time for the collective that recognizes, hey, like I have to be able to advocate for my own happiness, and I want community. And so there's been an internal change with the collective, like recognizing that all your wants, needs, and wishes and desires aren't going to be always met by the same collective. This is why people have different groups of friends. This is why people connect with different people at any given time. It's because we all have different wants, needs, and desires that need to be met, that want to be met, that you would like to have met. You're going through that moment now. You're recognizing that wearing all that armor is really uncomfortable. Wearing that mask is kind of uncomfortable. You'd rather be around people who understand you intrinsically. Now we have the Lover's energy. This is someone who sees the collective eye to eye. Not just sees the collective eye to eye, but almost like in a mirroring aspect. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the collective has said, okay, first of all, if you've already met this person, I wouldn't be surprised if you've said to this person, why are you me? Wait, why are you, sorry, I had to think about how that was going to go. Why are you me exactly? Why are we so similar? Well, the reason why you're so similar is because energetically you're calling out for your tribe. You're calling out for your pack. You're calling out for a mate. Now, I don't always want to make this about love, but how am I supposed to not make this about love when the Lover's card comes out? If it isn't about love, Lover's card could also be about just two people understanding intrinsically what your wants, needs, and desires are, having the same goals like in business, or maybe you're part of a creative collective, like maybe you're an artist and you've met a team of people who just get you. You don't have to explain the vision. You all together are the vision. You understand, but I'm feeling more it has to do with love. And that's just me. I feel like you all were going through a transformation, a realization. And through this realization, you recognize that what was around you, family, friends, coworkers, they're not mean. They're not spiteful people. They're not trying to hurt you, but they just don't get you. They don't get your high love for anime and cosplay. They don't get that you would love to spend an evening just, knitting and crocheting while watching old school silver screen horror movies. I realize that's a niche, but that's the point. The point is there is a niche, an area of your life that you just want to share with someone who understands. And here we go. You're going through a transformation, recognizing you don't want to wear all that armor all the time. Like, you want to be able to let loose, let your hair down, be yourself around someone that understands, whether it's a friend or a lover. But here we have the Lover. Someone sees you for who you are. And I'm hearing someone say, why are you me? Why are you me? How can we be almost the same person? I hear it like as a joke. Like there's like a disbelief in that energy, but also there is this true and genuine surprise. Like, wait a minute, I thought I was the only one who did that. I thought I was the only one who said that. I thought I was the only one who went through that. Nah. There are people out there who can stand toe to toe and be like, no, I went through that too. That shit's weird. Or whatever it is. So we're talking about intuition. So now we have the High Priestess. The intuition. I said intuition in that first card with the wolf. I said intuition with that cardinal. That was so obvious. Intuitively, energetically, you all were putting out the call for your tribe, for your pack, for your mate, for your community. And the universe heard. You intuitively knew when you needed to start doing for you. You intuitively knew that wearing the mask, you intuitively knew that wearing the armor wasn't what you wanted to do, both in your literal mind, your everyday thinking mind, and your intuitive mind. And so you asked the universe energetically to bring in somebody. We had the wolf calling out to the moon, intuitively calling its pack, calling its mate, calling its community. We had the coral, which is deeply grounded, deeply rooted, and able to withstand the change around them. When people question why they are 100% themselves. They are grounded in who they are, despite what happens around them. They are grounded. And then here comes that bright red cardinal messenger bird in the white bleakness of winter. It stuck out like a sore thumb. You started transforming at the time that you also were calling in your community, your tribe, your mate. Now we have someone who basically is you, who understands you. I feel like you don't even have to, hold on. I'm hearing I'm hearing like you're telling a joke, and like it's a joke that like you think is hilarious, but other people are like, what? And the person just gets it. Like you haven't even finished telling the whole of the joke and they're already like die laughing, like crying, because they can see the logic, they can see the cadence of this joke, and or they've heard the joke before and you thought you were the only one who knew it. Do you see what I mean? Like, how is this person so you? And intuitively they feel it too. This is not just on your side. They recognize it too. Oh, okay. That's a lot. We'll take the Knight of Swords and we'll take all these cards back. Okay, so Knight of Swords is about bringing forth the truth, bringing it in quickly with this person, with this person that you're like, how are you me? How is it that we basically are like the same person? And this Knight of Swords is about bringing in truths really fast. I kind of feel like the first time that you all met, whether it was on like a forum or like at like a Comic-Con or like a cosplay thing or a fantasy football team, whatever, whenever it is that you met, like the conversation was just fast. It was like you guys couldn't share enough of yourselves with this person because it was like finally talking to someone who understood. Like you didn't have to water it down. You didn't have to be like, oh, I have a neurospicy brain. Like, this is just how it... No, you didn't even have to... They're neurospicy too. They couldn't wait to have this conversation with you because the same way you're looking at them being like, how are you me? How are we the same person? They're looking at you being like, how did I find someone that I don't have to explain or over-explain everything? You know, like I'm hearing... I'm sorry, I'm an overthinker. And then the person responds like, it's okay, I'll over-explain. Like, that's what I heard just now. The Knight of Swords is, they can't wait to share this truth. They bring it in fast. They're bringing it. Three of Cups, you've got to be kidding me. This is connecting with your community. This is people, like-minded people getting together, celebrating, being happy, recognizing that they are a community. Like I can't even make this up. I keep it getting pulled back to like the term neurospicy. So if you're neurodivergent, you may be connecting with someone who has the same type of neurodivergence as you do, or can relate, or has the same interest and intensity. I'm hearing I'm hearing myself earlier in the video being like, just because you've seen the vastness of the ocean doesn't mean you've plumbed its depths. This is a person who like understands what that means. Just because you say you like, you know, fantasy video gaming doesn't mean you know who the art director was on the first Final Fantasy 3 / Final Fantasy 6, and that you knew who you have all the art books of Amino, and you loved the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and like really like getting down to the nitty gritty, you know, like you love Ranma 1/2, an old anime, and you also know that you like other isekai animes, like other, you know, some people would be like, yeah, I like anime. I like Attack on Titans. But this person wants to know that you understand their deep love of anime. And they don't have to convince you. They like it too. Or maybe they love like gothic Victorian horror, like literature. And so you're like, have you read or have you seen the movie The Lodgers, or have you seen Crimson Peak? And you all just kind of dive deeper into, just because you see the vastness of the ocean doesn't mean you've plumbed its depths. With this person who also is neurodivergent, you can now eye to eye like get super excited about the things that you all want to get super excited about, where you've tried to share that same same passion with other people, and you felt like you couldn't quite connect because they didn't quite see it at the level that you did. And everyone loves things in different ways, but when you meet this person, they love it almost in the exact same way, and it's too good, it's too delicious feeling. You sit there and you have to talk for hours, or maybe you're texting for hours. Look at me, I'm talking super fast because I'm in this energy so crazy, like so crazy deep into this energy. This person is like a breath of fresh air for you, and you all are building a beautiful friendship. And I do feel like there's some romance going on here, but I haven't seen anything. Well, I mean, the Lovers card, that is very, very destined energy, very much like you met this person for a reason. But the same way that you are their piece, they are your piece, you know? Anyways, I'm getting so like scatterbrained right now. I'm getting like I'm loose associating everything. But I also feel like that is indicative of the kind of conversation that they have. Like they could be talking about anime and then move to horror, then go back to anime and then talk about music and then go back to their childhood and just bopping all over the place. And you guys are sharing so much. But you guys, it's almost like you guys, it's not like you can't keep up. You guys are right. Anyways, I think you get what I'm saying. I'm getting all like worked up by this energy. Emperor energy. So this is Aries energy. Somebody is an Aries or has strong Aries placement. And not only that someone's an Aries or has strong Aries placement, but the energy, this lover's energy, is about having two people come together that understand on so many levels, can just, like, you all speak the same language. There is a quote that I've seen before. It's all, fall in love with someone who speaks the language of your heart so you don't spend a lifetime translating your soul. You know, that kind of thing. It's like that. It's like with the lover energy and the emperor energy, you all connect on a very real deep level. And you both, this Aries energy specifically, this Aries energy is an action taker, recognizes this. So it almost, I can't tell. Okay, well, that tells me a lot. It's like I can't really tell who this is, but I just heard when I was about to say that, why are you me and I am you? So the energy is the same. The person who put out the call to find someone who is like their match, their yin to their yang, to their mirror, there's someone who really understands. It's like at the same moment, both energies recognized it, and both energies were like, we are best friends. It is the movie of Step Brothers. Oh my God, did we just become best friends right now? It's like that. But I do feel like there is romance underneath that. You're excited about building this friendship in this community, but there is this vein of desire. There's this vein of friendship and romance, which honestly is the best kind. This emperor energy is understanding, having the logic, the intuition, the charisma, the stability, all wrapped up into one. You feel safe with this person. This Aries energy, this fiery Aries energy, feels safe in this connection. They don't feel judged. They feel protected. They feel like they could be their honest self. They feel like they can be vulnerable. So we have the Hierophant. You've got to be kidding me. So we have Aries and Taurus, okay? If you are an Aries or Taurus, or one of you is an Aries and one of you is a Taurus, this reading is for you, okay? Aries and Taurus, who are both, okay, who are both a little neurospicy, both can come on. I think a lot of people maybe read your energies individually, both the Aries and the Taurus energy, both read your energies separately as intense in different ways, but together, I'm here, oh my God, together with the earth and fire, I'm seeing like a volcano. It's like when you guys come together, there's big explosions of energy, there's big explosions of like if it hasn't gotten like romantic or a little spicy, I would be surprised. Like it almost feels like Take it as it resonates. But it almost feels like you can't connect with someone so deeply, so quickly, so truly and genuinely, and not also be somewhat somewhat worked up by the sheer depth of connection and intelligence in this connection, that how could it not turn this way? You know what I mean? Again, we have like a very intuitive, like the divine feminine energy, intuition, and then we have an earthy energy of grounded. There's the balance. It's the as above, so below. We have fire and earth. We have two opposites that come together. You make a volcano. You both called in each other's energy. You both called in each other's energy. This is wild. Okay, let me get some oracles. I'm going to use the same oracles as I did, and I will read from the book. But I'm going to use this. It's called the Pluto. What's it called? Hold on. I'm gonna move this box. It is called the Oracle of Pluto, and it's like this would be kind of like the light side, the outward facing side, and then the Pluto one is like your inner side, your shadow self. Not bad, just your inner world. Shadow is inner world, light is outer world. Okay, so let's get to see what we got, and then we'll read from the book. Okay, so we have the eagle. I love that. Okay, we're going to read that. I have my intuitive reading, but I said I was going to read actually the oracle. Okay, and then we have the horse. Oh my God. I can't help but intuit this. Eagle is a symbol for freedom. The Mustang, the horse, a symbol for freedom. And not just freedom, but like the safety to be free. Authentically who you are. You're authentically to be yourself. Sorry, I'm just in this energy right now. Okay, so let me get 2 cards from the Oracle of Pluto. Okay, well, we've got one. We've got the white-tailed stag. And then we've got... Whoop! Hold on. Oh, that's too many. That's like 4. We just need one. One on the table, please. There. We got 2. 1. But we did get okapi and a camel. 1. Just 1. 1. My goodness. If I get 2 cards again, 3rd time, I will take it. But I just want 1. There it is. Okay, so now we got the griffin. Okay, so for the eagle... Wait, hold on. Where's that? Okay, so for the eagle... Soar, loyalty, and trust. Resilient and brave, the eagle allows you to soar to new heights. Take a bird's eye view and see if you are in true alignment with your path. The eagle is able to stalk its prey, capturing those that are wounded and ill, which prevents the spread of disease. Eagles are seen as healers in this regard, ending the unnecessary suffering of another with precision and swiftness. The eagle gives you the gift of sight, as it is able to pinpoint the minute details that can easily be missed. In relationships, the eagle has a unique mating ritual, dancing with its partner in the sky as they lock talons, plunging and soaring with complete trust in one another. Eagles mate for life and can show up as a teacher when you are ready to commit to your relationship. How can you maintain a strong sense of self while being loyal to another? Allow your shared interests and commitments to give you both a boost in trust, faith, and love. Okay? Allow your shared commitments and interests to boost your trust, faith, and love. Okay? So we're now going to do horse. I gotta find it. Horse energy. There we go. Horse, passion, drive, and wildness. Wild and free, the horse can represent our willpower and our drive to go all the way. Passions propel you forward and keep you focused as long as you're connected to your purpose. The horse trots along, masterfully navigating the road ahead as an extension of human consciousness. Take a look within and ask yourself, what is my driving force? What motivates me to keep going when times get tough? There is a passion that wants to be expressed, an energy within you that can only be tamed for so long. Channel this energy in healthy ways, focusing on productive outlets that can transport you farther along your career path. The horse works tirelessly and is able to make massive progress, but only when it's connected to its heart. Don't forget your heart's mission as you gallop towards your victory and share your desires with all the will of your mind, body, and soul. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then we have, for our inner world, the white-tailed deer. Let's see, is this in... No, these are not in alphabetical order. So let me look up the... Oh, it's at the beginning of the book. It's number 2. Sorry. There we go. The white-tailed stag. The meaning, the process of rebirth. Each year, the majestic white tail sheds an incredibly important part of itself, its rack of antlers. In each subsequent year, the antlers grow back stronger and bigger than they were the year prior. The process of regrowing these antlers is bloody and painful, yet necessary. The antlers are used to defend not only the white-tailed stag, but also its family. Furthermore, they are a sign of increasing maturity, experience, and skill. The arrival of the whitetail in a reading means that you, too, are undergoing a painful yet necessary rebirth and transformation. There is part of your identity, life, or even relationships that must be shed in order for you to advance forward in your journey and ultimately aid in your evolution. This process may also feel bloody and painful. Resist the urge to shy away from it. Instead, recognize that to make room for this new version of yourself, a version that is bigger and stronger than you were before, you must first prune away whatever is bogging you down. You've outgrown whatever it is, and you are choosing to hold on to it. It is no longer serving you. Often fear comes hand in hand with change, and when we can sense it on the horizon, we instinctively double down on what is familiar. Think of the stag and how they let go of things that protect them without question, knowing that it will be replaced with something even more immaculate. How can this unbridled trust in the unfolding of your path serve you now, even if you don't know exactly what it means yet? Ooh, how profound! How profound! You know what this reminds me of? This Oracle of Pluto. It reminds me of the Plato's allegory of the caves. If you don't know what it is, I will put a quick little bit right here, likely, and then I'll link it in the description box below. Okay? Okay, so the next one is Griffin. Let me find it in the... Sorry, I'm looking in the, what do you call it? Table of contents, but I don't yet see it. Griffin. Oh, it's the last one. Okay. Okay, Griffin. The superconscious. The griffin is a mythical creature possessing head, talons, and wings of an eagle, but the body of a lion. Thanks to the fusing of these two powerhouses, the griffin has often been used as a symbol of fierce power and impenetrable protection. While you'll never see one in real life, to see a griffin in your dreams is a compelling message from spirit. Thanks to the mythos of the being and the incredible height in which it soars, the griffin possesses an incredible vantage point that reveals potent truths that can only be obtained through spiritual enlightenment and through tapping into the superconscious of the divine. If griffin energy is at play, you are in a rare and fated moment in your life, and it's time to start paying attention. Sometimes the griffin is depicted as being so large it can blot out the sun. In this form, the griffin is known as Ziz, a creature from Jewish mythology that can also allow the light of the sun to come through if it chooses. In both darkness and light, there are different experiences and truths to be found. There is a time to sit in the dark and in silence, and a time to step out into the illumination and warmth of the sun. In this way, we can grasp that the divine is in all things. It is both light and dark simultaneously. There is an appropriate time for both, and in this moment, you must discern which you need. Spend time in meditation or researching the symbolism of griffins. Its presence is fleeting yet deeply profound. The circumstances surrounding a griffin moment are sure to stay with you for a long, long time. Do your best to be present and drink in as much detail as you can. Open yourself up fully to the divine and pay attention to the messages that are being sent. They can arrive through any and every avenue. Often, a griffin arrives when the situation at hand requires a complex balance of power and a leap of faith. Okay, these are new cards and these are new cards. And can I just say that I am absolutely in love with both of these, okay? And I hope this resonated with someone because it felt very clear. It felt very purposeful. And I really want to thank you for being here. All likes, shares, and subscribes are deeply appreciated because it leads other people to find my stories. But I couldn't do any of this without you because I am channeling your energy and I'm confirming how you feel. So your energy here today is most strongly appreciated. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.